New York's Hochul had a Chinese spy as one of her assistant chief deputies working for her, and the Chinese spy got arrested. We have video of her. I'm John Mike Keene, and we're about to spill the beans on this one. Subscribe.
I think, when people say diversity and inclusion, I think everybody agrees, or most people generally agree that it's a good thing, right?
I think, right. So she knows how to talk like a Californian to keep her job. That was her first form of infiltration. And then she brings up diversity and equity and all that. Here's not the B. FBI charges high-ranking former aide to New York Governor Kathy Hochul with being a Chinese spy. Let's hear a little more of her lingo that she used to completely infiltrate the Democrat Party without anyone questioning her.
But I think right now we also need to bring in the word equity, right? Diversity is when you say that there's, many different types of people with different backgrounds, and they're all, invited to the table. Inclusion is when, we include all of their ideas.
Inclusion's when we bring in all of their ideas. I'm going to prove to you that they do not care about diversity. They do not care about equity, and they do not care about inclusion. In fact, they're the exact opposite, the most judgmental, intolerant shrews you can think of. But let's hear from the Chinese spy for just a second, because she's really knows how to work the lingo to get past the watchful guards. This is all you got to do to have them excuse your merit, not look at your merit, and just look at your DNA to decide you're the best person for the job.
And unfortunately, I think some of the statistics that you quoted is that we don't have that much leadership or representation.
She's asking for representation. I'm going to make my case with a scientist in the global climate change, whatever, science category. Here she is.
Prior to 2009, I felt that supporting the IPCC consensus on climate change was a responsible thing to do. I bought into the argument, don't trust what one scientist says, trust what an international team of 1,000 scientists has said after years of careful deliberation.
Now, this is what a liberal will do to you, even if you're a scientist, and even if you're an Asian woman. They may say that you can come to the table and bring your ideas, and all ideas have equity. Oh, really? What happens if you come to the table and say, deny man-made global warming or whatever? And I'm not making that case here, so don't even bother reporting my YouTube channel. Like, I already know all the liberals and Democrats who are pro-censorship are already lining up reporting this episode. This is not about global climate change at all. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or don't. This is about how you're treated with bringing in an outside idea to a Democrat, and Democrats will shut the channel down over bringing up opposing that idea. By the way, even if I was Asian or black or gay or a woman, they would not care. So when she says all ideas have equity, the spy and Democrats do not mean it.
That all changed for me in November 2009 following the leaked ClimateGate emails that illustrated the sausage making and even bullying that went into building the consensus. I started speaking out, saying that scientists needed to do better at making the data and supporting information publicly available, being more transparent about how they reach conclusions, doing a better job of assessing uncertainties, and actively engaging with scientists having minority perspectives.
She wanted to engage with scientists having minority perspectives. And the Democrats, they want no such thing. They despise minority perspectives. In fact, they'll yell at you, the debate is over. Remember that when they say that they want equity, they don't want equity.
The response of my colleagues to this is summed up by the title of a 2010 article in the Scientific American. Climate heretic Judith Curry turns on her colleagues.
That's Judith Curry, and she got the scarlet letter. She was labeled a heretic. She doesn't look like a wacko to me. She's a careful scientist. But how does this happen?
I came to the growing realization that I had fallen into the trap of groupthink. I had accepted the consensus based on second-order evidence, the assertion that a consensus existed.
A consensus existed. 51 FBI agents said Hunter laptop was Russian disinformation. That's what groupthink is. Here's an NPC meme where the guy says, and that's a non-player character to the old people that don't play video games. A non-player character is like a robot in a video game. And he asks to himself, maybe I am an NPC. And then down below he says, no, having the same opinions as celebrities and major corporations while repeating every media talking point verbatim is what real people do.
Policy advocacy, when combined with understating the uncertainties, risks destroying science's reputation for honesty and objectivity, without which scientists become regarded as merely another lobbyist group.
But equity is when we make sure that all of the people who are at the table have equal access to making sure that their ideas and their thoughts are heard.
Not if you're an Asian scientist with a minority opinion. Not if you're a Black scientist with a minority opinion, like Clarence Thomas. If you go against the Democrat Party, they will come at you. They don't care that you're a minority, and therefore they dismiss your opinion. They did this to Thomas Sowell. They said, though you have the right minority race because your opinion doesn't match, we are not interested in your minority opinion. That's why this is all BS. That's how a spy can just pick up this ding-a-ling language and just work right in the Democrat Party. I'm John Mike Keene.